Hello everyone, welcome to Level Up IAS. I'm Santosh Kumar and today I'm here to introduce our next current affairs program. This current affairs program is for both prelims and mains examination of 2024 and it is starting on 4th of November 2023. Now before I go into the details of the program, let me first discuss why we need current affairs program in our civil services preparation. See, all of us are graduates, all of us who are preparing are graduates. We can read newspapers, we can take notes out of it, right? Then why a current affairs program? See, the first challenge, the first reason why we should have a current affairs program is the diversity of sources, which is not feasible for a student to cover at his or her own. For example, you perhaps read Hindu or Indian Express में कोई चीज. Let's say you read Hindu. Then some of your friends may recommend you do go through the explained page of Indian Express. Then your essay teacher may say you should go through Yojana and Kurukshetra. Your science and technology or environment teacher may say that Down to Earth is an important magazine. You should be covering that. So essay, there are multiple sources, and if a student tries to cover all these sources at his own, there would be challenges. What kind of challenges? A student would end up spending 4 or 5 hours every day only on current affairs, and this would impact preparation of the core subjects like history, geography, polity, economy, your optional subject, and so on. And that is why, while all these sources are important, a student will not be able to, at his or her own, complete all these things at their own. And therefore, a current affairs program which caters to or which covers all these sources would be useful for students. So what we do in our current affairs program, we try to ensure that the one source that you get in the form of printed notes should be taking care of all these requirements. Everything that is relevant from the dynamic portion of the examination should be taken care of. This is the first reason why you should be looking for a current affairs program, and specifically current affairs program at Level Up IAS. Then the second problem that a current affairs program resolves is the problem of understanding in how much depth should we cover a topic. See, right now Israel-Palestine issue is going on. Now in this Israel-Palestine issue, we are getting so many articles. There are so many websites which are covering this issue in details. There are historical sources where sometimes people are covering this topic from the time of ancient period or medieval period and so on. Now, a student who has started his preparation or who is in the advanced phase of preparation sometimes ends up wasting a lot of time by going into depth of these topics. I'll give you another example. For example, let's talk about the Nobel Prizes which were announced recently. A student doesn't understand where do we have to stop. We do not have to go beyond it. And sometimes all of you may have done this. You have spent an entire day in understanding one topic, in going in depth for one topic. And that entire day was supposed to be divided between your optional subject, GS subject, and you only had 1.5 hours for reading newspapers and all. But you wasted the entire day for that. Now, a current affairs program would ensure you, it would ensure that if this amount of depth is needed, the topic would be covered in this much depth. If more depth is needed, the topic would be covered in more depth, ensuring that you do not waste your entire day or 2 days on that topic. You just read one newspaper, spend 40-45 minutes on newspaper every day, and rest everything gets taken care of in the classes and in the notes that you get. This was the second problem that this current affairs program would resolve for you. Then the third issue that a current affairs program, specifically our current affairs program, would solve for you would be the problem of revision. A major issue that happens when we are studying current affairs is that we are not able to regularly revise everything. For example, you may have started taking notes out of newspaper, the Hindu or Indian Express, in June. Then just think of it, how many times have you revised that article, those sections? And when you do not revise them, 6 months down the line or 7 months down the line, when you look at those topics again, they appear new. It appears as if you do not know about them at all. And then you have to start everything from scratch. So it is very important to regularly revise. And in our current affairs program, through regular weekly test, which would be weekly test on the weekly test, which would compare the cover the syllabus for the last week. There would be monthly test, which will complete the syllabus of the last month. 3 monthly tests, 6 monthly tests. Through these tests, what we will ensure is you are regularly revising things. Every topic gets revised 3-4 times. So the objective test and subjective test, which are part of this current affairs program, would ensure regular revisions also. So these are the 3 core problems that we solve through this current affairs program. And before going into the features of the program, I first briefly wanted to cover these problems. So first was the problem of multiple sources. We would ensure that you only have to go through one source that we would provide, and you'll only have to cover one lecture that we would be providing. Second, in how much depth to go. We would ensure that analysis is done by us. You focus on just studying thing, revising thing, and properly giving tests. The third problem was that of revisions. Through regular weekly tests, we ensure that students are regularly revising the entire syllabus. These are the 3 core issues that we would solve. Now, let's come to the features of the program. We're saying that this program would ensure that there is one source which covers everything. There would be systematic focus on both prelims and mains examination. You can understand this by the 3 phases of the program. This program would have 3 phases. In the first phase, which would be of 2.5 months, our primary focus would be on mains examination with 10% focus on preliminary examination. But from mid of January, we will jump onto complete prelims preparation. From mid-January to April, our focus would be entirely on preliminary examination. And then after your preliminary examination, for 2.5 months, our focus would be on mains examination, where anything which is relevant for GS2 and GS3, we will cover in a systematic syllabus-wise manner. So, in this program, we are focusing systematically both on preliminary examination as well as mains examination. Then, another very interesting aspect or another very crucial aspect of this program is in-depth coverage of certain topics which are not properly covered in your GS Foundation programs. For example, if you've done some GS Foundation program, or if you're doing self-study also, what you end up doing is you end up spending most of your time on subjects like history, geography, polity, economy, ethics, etc. Whereas there are equally, if not more important subjects like science and technology, environment, disaster management, internal security, IR, governance, social justice. These are equally important. Like science and technology, environment together will give you around 30 questions in preliminary examination. You cannot ignore them. But for these sources, these subjects, good sources are not available, and that is why students sometimes end up ignoring these areas. What we try to ensure is, in the current affairs program, these subjects like disaster management, science and technology, environment, etc., are covered thoroughly. Not only the current affairs part, but even the basics of it, so that students, they increase their focus on these subjects. They do not ignore it. Plus, they ensure they get complete coverage for these areas. So that is another important feature. And then we have said there would be systematic weekly test ensuring regular revisions. These are the 3 phases of the program that we have already discussed. So with this kind of program, we would ensure that your current affairs preparation does not only remain focused on current affairs, but becomes an important pillar of your overall civil services preparation. So please do attend a demo class on 4th of November, or if you have watched our classes in the past and are satisfied with it, you can also take admission. Go to levelupias.com and go to the current affairs program and take admissions there. Improve your overall civil services preparation by joining Level Up. Thank you.